as someone who used to live not too far away from the Los Angeles Velodrome, we immediately had World Cup, other events there as well, and it became a fixture on the track circuit. What can we expect from Rock Hill regarding competition wise?
Well, we're going to have it all. We have the grand opening is March 17th. It's a Saturday. The track is going to be open every day. It's lit, and we have nationals. We have national championships in August this year. So we'll have some kind of national championship going almost every year, if not every year, on one of the five disciplines we have here at the facilities. We're going to have World Cups. The BMX Supercross track is going to be phenomenal because it can be set up like the Olympics. It can be set up like any World Cup track. And so the UCI has already talked to us about World Cup events. We could host we could host World Championships on the BMX track. We're limited on the concrete outdoor velodrome. We can do nationals. We can do some larger scale events. We can't do World Championships because of its outdoor concrete. But the unique thing about this velodrome, which is like unlike any other one in the world, is that it's surrounded by retail. So you could be out getting a frozen yogurt or having dinner at a restaurant, and you're literally on the back stretch of this thing. There's a YMCA at one end overlooking the velodrome. So it's going to be really dropped right in the middle of town, more or less. So it's going to be really interesting from a spectator standpoint. But as a racer, you're going to be on display. You're not out there with around just a bunch of riders and kind of out by yourself. You're going to be sort of right in the middle of town on display. So it's going to be pretty fun, I think, to ride on.
Spencer, talk a little bit about the equipment. You and I were exchanging a couple of messages earlier in the week. You know, as much as maybe the public doesn't know a whole lot about track racing, I think a lot of cyclists, even in the region, though they may know of track racing, have not been real active in it because there just simply hasn't been opportunity for it. So, how is that going to work in terms of will the velodrome be renting track bikes, or talk a little bit about the equipment?
Sure. As Neil mentioned at the beginning, Gita Sporting Goods and Giordana Clothing is the title sponsor, so it's the Giordana Velodrome, and they also import Eddie Merckx and Pinarello. So they've been kind enough we have Pinarello track rental bikes at the track. So the good news is if you don't have a track bike, you can, yeah, Pinarello made custom track bikes for our rental bikes. So it's a pretty good rental bike, I would say. Yeah. So if you don't have a track bike, you can rent one. But the good news is, if you need more bike equipment, you're going to need one for the track. It's a different frame. The angles are different. There's no brakes. Obviously, there's one gear that's fixed wheel. So the cranks are different and shorter usually. So it's a whole different technique in terms of you need different chain rings and cogs and so forth, different equipment. So there's bike storage at the track, so you can leave your bike there because you really can't ride it out on the road with no brakes and so forth. So it's sort of a specialized bicycle. Of course, you have pursuit bikes and all kinds of stuff. So for the gearheads out there, there's plenty of opportunity to buy a bunch of new swag and enjoy the track racing specialty.
Yeah, for those who in this region may not have had a chance to get on to a velodrome, I was used it several times up in LA, and I can tell you, it is some of the best training you can on a velodrome. The guys who would hit like our Thursday and Wednesday night sessions at the LA Velodrome in Carson on the campus there, Cal State Dominguez, they came into the Saturday and Sunday criteriums in our races just flying. I mean, it is just some intense workout. You would ride on the velodrome for an hour and just be worked. So I recommend if you want to get that edge on cycling, you know, out on the road, get out on the velodrome. And I'm personally super excited